Hello, dear friends and kind hearts. Now, we enter another video, and today I'm going to be talking about the fact that I've been doing a few courses on Starseed You, and I wanted to talk about the style of this and what this kind of new paradigm is kind of creating, these new ways of delivering information, and that information and knowledge and wisdom is all kind of a different vibrational experience as opposed to what we're used to. For me, when I was making some of them, I was thinking this just doesn't really seem like a course. Whenever I've gone and done a course, it's like, you have practicals and then you have all these written assessments and these it's all very serious, book reading and things like that. But for me, I'm doing things that are very experiential in the sense that we're going on a journey through visualization. I'm being shown where we're going, and I'm bringing that through verbally, and then we all go together and we journey through this place, and then we arrive somewhere and we go and we attain information through these spaces. And what that is that we're going through to higher states of consciousness. We're really in that deep state of consciousness where we're relaxed and we're in this powerful creative energy field, and we're able to actually have communication with the higher self. There's no ego there in that point, and we can just communicate with other beings, because what we see through that imagination portal is this other essence, this consciousness that I think that we've so been trained to believe that imagination is just something that children have to make stuff up. And yeah, we are making stuff because we're creating stuff, and that's how we create everything that has ever been made into this physical matter. Is thought, is creation. If anybody's ever written a book before, if anybody has ever created and made, like the iPad that I'm on right now, that was thought up, and then it becomes into physical through whatever process you think up that's going to make that thing, right? So it's just very important that we begin to realise that, if you haven't already, that our mind, but not just like the analytical mind that's like read this, learn this, but that very creative part of your mind, the imagination, is what's going to actually work on creating that new reality for yourself and giving you a deeper connection with your higher self, or your, if you don't like the word higher self, it's like, that self that is just more embodied with consciousness, divine self. You're all divine, everything is divine. I just think of it, I've really been seeing it as like an angelic presence. It's that angelic essence that we want to embody. That is the real mission, I think, with being incarnated as a human being, is to bring the angelic being, so that divine source being, which is in its purest form, into this physical reality and embodying it as that in this physical. And it's through the imagination, it's through exploring other states of consciousness, going to other places and dimensions through this portal. So I just wanted to share that with you, because I think we all have this ability, we all can do it. It's just about about being able to know that that is all it is. It's really that simple, and that it's made out to be harder, and it gets kind of a bit crushed when you're a child, and that's why we do the inner child work. You know, I think even the shadow work really is shadow work, inner child work. Some people might call them different things, but I feel like you need that little child to help go through those things. That's through my experience. I've really found doing these things with my childlike essence and joy and love is what's really helped me get out of things that are quite difficult. If we go into it like we're going into the trenches, and we're gonna, you know, have to dig deep and pull out this like yucky, mucky demon out of me, you know, it just feels so heavy and just so, you know. And sometimes afterwards, like, I've gone through that kind of experience, you know, where we do it in that way, where, and then afterwards you just feel so like, drained, mortified, oh my gosh, this was just like, do I want to go there again? And yeah, I'm just starting to see other ways, and maybe we have to go through that to a degree to experience that's a different way of going through it. But when we can actually work with the inner child, work with that childlike child to look at it and really pull it out that way. And how do you do that? So you would really, by just allowing, surrendering, and coming in like this childlike innocence of like, I don't know what I'm going to expect today. I don't know what it's going to be like. It's okay. I'm here anyway, you know? Because you know how kids do that? They just turn up anyway. They're just in to just go and experience stuff because they've never experienced that before. And that's how they bump their heads. That's how they, you know, find out that they love a certain program, because they'll just go and watch it. They'll go out and play on a tree and discover how much they love trees. They'll go and eat something and they'll find out that they don't like it because it's come from the floor, you know. And it's like, that's how we like discover and we learn and things like that. Whereas, yeah, if we go into like going into our shadow in that same kind of like, oh yeah, let's just go and find out what that's about, then it really releases it in a way that is very different. And I think I'll do some more maybe about that in depth somewhere else, because there's probably got a lot we can go into that. And I did do that with the whale course as well, because we did a lot of finding the joy, and connecting to them brings us very much to that joy and that playfulness, and you can really kind of release through even listening to whale sounds, through dancing, you know, all of that, and just releasing the body. Going back to Qigong, you know, that's a lot of good at releasing the energy, so you can experience and remember something that's traumatic and that you need to be released. You can even realize that there's a program that's been playing out that you was unaware of, and all of a sudden it's there, and then you can dance that out, you can laugh it out, you can play with it, you know, and just be silly about it, and that will help to transmute it. I'm not saying that's the only way, but it's one way that you can do that. Drawing it, being creative again. So even if you think that you're not a good artist, even if you draw like a child, you know, draw it out. You could draw a funny little scenario of how you wanted it to play out, or, you know, of you getting rid of that experience, you know. Yeah, I think that, yeah, that's a really good little way, just drawing like a little child. Even if you can draw, just draw like a little child, just because it's fun, you know. Just being messy, not being all conformative and perfect and pristine. And then you break past those barriers that the human condition, being an adult, is, you know, have to do things the right way. That even breaks past limiting beliefs. So I hope some of the rambling has assisted you, and that I've said some things that will help you today. They just felt like they needed to roll out. It didn't feel like a particular structure of one thing or the other. And if there is anything in particular that anybody wishes for me to discuss, we can do that. Let's see if I have anything to comment on about that. And I do hope I've helped people so far with these ramblings, and I just want to assist others in their evolution and in their direction of empowerment, because we are all healers, we're all energy, and we're all creator beings. So let's bring that into our awareness to work through these things ourselves. Remember, you are not a victim. You are not a victim. You are not a victim. You're an empowered being that makes the decisions, what you choose in your life, and how you would like life to play and be. So play, be. Nutroma te tere e shua ma tere e andarana. Hua te kiana ma. Tia e shu tia. Ia sia kua tere e ta. Hiawa 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 awa hiawa. Hiana na mo hua ta ia ta te kuta ta kata te kia ta kata ua. Ia mai wani ana na mantona ia hiana mahua hiana nama. Hiana nama ia tata iuta te ia tata uasha. Hiana na moru no na motuto ia te Thank you very much, and I'll see you all soon.